Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're going to be playing another archery contest. Now the word another here, it's a bit disconcerting because it implies that we've missed the previous archery contest. If you guys let me know in the comment that you've actually enjoyed this puzzle, I'll go find it, and we'll be a late submission for the previous archery contest, but we'll join it nevertheless. And one thing before I guess we should mention before we take a look at today's puzzle is here is Sleuth joining the archery contest, clearly, drawing a bow, but for some reason aiming away from the target. Now, if you are part of this contest, I highly recommend you don't do that. Don't draw your bow whilst looking anywhere other than down the range safely from pointing at potentially any of the audience that's there. Anyhow, let's take a look at today's puzzle and rule sets. So, we've got what is clearly a target. Got essentially a center here with a bunch of concentric circles, yellow, purple, grey, light blue. It's not very high contrast, but there is a clue in here that says the colors are purely aesthetic, so it does draw your attention to it if you don't necessarily spot it immediately. So, another archery contest from the Bard. Your turn. Normal Sudoku rules apply. That means place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Then we have killer cages. Digits add up to the value in the corner. I'm just having a look for a small cage that's not forced. Let's have a look at this one. Let's, for example, say that this is a 2. This would have to be a 6, so that these two cells, which are defined by the dashed line around them, must sum up to the 8 that's given in the top left corner. There's obviously a few other ways of doing it. That's one example of it. It doesn't explicitly say that digits cannot repeat in cages. That's what sort of threw me off about it for a second. And for a very small number of cages, that matters. Such as this one and this one. I don't think there's others. The rest are either in the same row, column, or box. So it'll be interesting to figure out if we actually have to make an assumption here that the Bard left this off the rule set. I mean, it is a 1-star difficulty rated, so if I run into trouble and it proves extremely difficult when I'm trying to solve it without making that assumption, I am going to make the assumption that the Bard left it off the rules and normal killer cage rules apply. Arrows, we've got digits along an arrow add up to the digit in the circle. So if this cell here is a 6, these two cells, which are the arrow attached to the circle, must sum up to 6. They can repeat, so they're in different boxes, rows and columns, so a double 3 would be a valid set of pencil marks. And then lastly, not really a rule, the colors are purely aesthetic. Kind of. I'm looking at one of them in particular and thinking maybe there is something there. So that's all the rules we have for today. If you feel like joining this archery contest, well, link will be in the description down below for you to do so. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock, see how I get on. Now, I am going to be able to immediately place the digit 1. Reason I know that, and you know you're in for a good time when you can place a digit in under 10 seconds, is every box, according to normal Sudoku rules, has the digits 1 to 9 once each. You add them all up, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, all the way up to 9, you will get to 45. Now, I have line of sight of 24, 34, 44 of them, and to get to 45, this has to be a 1. Let's keep going. This is now 7, 8, 9. That is not an 8. This is forced in 3 cells. Without the 1, the 10 cage is also forced. This is 2, 3, 5. There is no other way of doing 10 in 3 cells without a 1. And that is 4, 6 to get us to 10 in the remainder here. Keeps going, this arrow sum here. I have to minimize with 7 and 2 to be able to actually enter a single digit in here with a 9. This 7 means this is not a 7, this is an 8-9 pair now. This arrow is also interesting. So you can see that the minimum digits I can put in here is now a 3. 1 and 2 are not available. And therefore the minimum digits I can put in the arrow sum is a 6, which actually isn't available. 4, 6 pair and a 9 means this is 7 or 8. So that's 3, this is 3 or 4. If that's 5, this is a 3 to get to 8. Oh, no, 2 is not available. So, oh, I could do 3, 5 as well. Pardon me. The 8 cage, let's think about this. Actually, this is the way to think about it. More arrows. I guess the archery is very much what's pointing in the direction here. Minimum I can make this is a 6. No 1, so this is 2 plus 4 to make a 6. And the maximum I can put inside an 8 gauge is a 7 with a 1-2 pair. 7 cage I've kind of ignored for too long. This is 1-2 4. This can't be a 6 anymore. 6 with a 1, which is not available, is the only way this would have worked. So this is a 4. This is a 4. This is a 6. This is now 2 or 3, depending on whether it's a 6 or 7. This is not a 4. This is not a 1 from the start. We have 1, 2 here. They can be, of course, double. Well, they can't be double 1, but they could be double 2. Double 1 won't work because it would conflict with this 2. So this is 3 or 4. Almost have a double here, like 3, 4 pair. Where do we go from here? Eight cage, maybe? Yeah, 8 cage. So you always have to have a 1 inside a 3-cell 8 cage. Without 1, 2, 3, 4 is the minimum. That's a 9, that breaks. So 2 ways of doing 8. 1, 2, and 5. And then 1, 4, and 3. And I'm deliberately pencil marking it this way because 1, 2, 4 can only be down here, and there's a definite 1. This cell is also forced. This is 3, 6. 16 cage in 5 cells is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. This is not 1, 2, or 4. I'm left with 3 and 6. And it's now very much pointing me towards figuring out whether this is unique or not. You see, if this is unique, that would be 5. This would be 6, 7, 8. This wouldn't be an 8. This would be 6 or 7. And, we'd be laughing. We'd be able to make pretty quick progress. And a 5 in here would force this to be a 3, would force this to be an 8. This is not 8 or 7. This would be a 6. And this would be the 8. This would be a 7. We'll move very swiftly from here. And I get the sentiment that 1 star very much implies that is correct. If I don't give this a go without making that assumption, though, I can already read the comments. Let me just put it that way. Right, let's think about options. So knowing that this cell is not 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, this is 6, 7, 8, or 9. And it's not 8. So 9 and 6 is kind of the obvious one. Then we'd have 5, then we'd have 7, 8, and this 7 would give us 7 and 8 in this order. If that's 6. If that's 7, no, this doesn't work actually. Yeah, it doesn't work. If this is 6, I have to have 5, 7, 8 as a remainder. But if that's 5, that's 3, that's 8, and that's 8, and that breaks because it can't be 6 or 7. So that's not a 6. So I really have only 2 options to consider. So maybe we are going to be able to demonstrate that this is forced. Right, so 9 and 7 would leave me with 16 and a remainder of 19. Then 19 in 3 cells, without a 9, mind you, pretty sure has to be 5, 6, 8. 19 in 3 cells, 5, 6, 8, yeah. But if you don't use the 7, it's too small. So the 8 has to be in there. And if the 8 is in there, I need to get to 11. Without 2, 9. Without 3, 8. And I have to use without 2, 9. Without 3, 8. I could do 4, 7. So I could do 4. No, that would be a second 7. That would be a double 7 in here, and an 8 in there, and that won't work to use the 4. So you are forced to use 5, 6, and 8. So this is 6, 8 in this scenario. I mean, even better, because we said that would be 5, that would be 3. I am going to just show this, 7. And then this would be, I said the 8, the 6, and then the 7. Right, last option we have is a 9, a double 9. 18. And then the remainder of 17 in 3 cells without the 9. So let's think about what that looks like. So no 9s, then 3 cells that add up to 17. And that doesn't have to have an 8. If it has an 8 with 17, then I have 2 cells that add up to 9, which is obviously doesn't include the 9, doesn't include the 1, 8. Could be 2, 7. No, it would have to be a 2 here and a 7 there, which is not possible. Could be 3 and 6. And 6. And then 4 and 5. Remember, this cell is limited in terms of options. So 4, 5, and 8. Now, this cell, which admittedly I removed a bunch of options for, was 3, 4, or 5. So it can only be these 3. So if this is the, hang on, the double 9, with an 8 would require 3, 6. So if it's 4, 5, I mean, this could be either, to be fair. So this could be 3, 4, or 5. We're back to this option, or set of pencil marks, and therefore this could be 5, this could be 3, therefore this could be 7. And if it's double 9, so far I'm not including a 7 in my option, because 8 and 7 would get me to 15, and then I would need 2, which is not available here, not available there, and therefore would have to be a 2 with a 7, 8 pair, and this can't be 7 or 8. Okay, so I'm okay with that. You see, like, going through all of this, I'm slowly getting to the conclusion this is not intended, and it's more likely that the bard made a mistake for it to be rated 1 star. Now, remember, this can't be 4. So my options for 3, 6, 8 is the 3 is on here, the 6 is there. Why can't the 6 be here? 3 is here. This could be 7. Doesn't have to be the 8 is there. So this could be 6, 8 pair as such, with a 9 here and then a 3 there. Now the other possibility with 4 and 5 is I could do 4 to get to 7 with an 8 and a 5 in here. If I put the 5 in there, that forces this to be 8. This would be the 8. This would be the 4. So this is all the options if I include an 8. If I don't include an 8 and I'm trying to get to 17, then I have a 7, and then I need to get to 10. Then 1, 9 is not available. 3, 7 is not available. With this cell, it would have to be 4, 6. So I've basically got a 4 here with a 6 there. And that would be the only set of pencil marks. And I think anything that doesn't include 7 or 8 just doesn't work. 4, 5, 6 is 15, yeah. So that is a full set of pencil marks on the assumption that I can repeat the 9 here. Yeah, it just doesn't seem right. Just having a look. I mean, you can think about obviously the 35 cage. This is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is not 6 or 9. This is 5, 7, or 8. We can do something similar in here, that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6, and it's not 1 or 2. It's 3, 4, 6. But this is just... And then we can start to look at the fistamethil ring. But I mean, this is like not even heading towards 2-star. It's heading towards 3-star. So I'm going for it. This is a 7. This is a 5. That is a 3. That is a 5. That is an 8. That is a 6. That is an 8. And you can see just how quickly it all falls apart once you make this assumption that it's the normal rules. This 8 and 5 gives me a 7 in here, which gives me a 6 in there, which gives me a 2 in here, a 4 in there. This is a 1-2 pair now. That 6 removes the 6 option from here. This is 3-4. Way to think about this now is we need an 8-9 in row 5, and it's not this cell. This is it. And we've got a 3-4 pair, and therefore this is a 7. They can't both be 1s, because that breaks. They can both be 2s with a 1. Sorry, let me just repeat the obvious here. Color. There. These two cells have to be the same just because of normal Sudoku rules. And because they can't be a double 1, they are a double 2. And that's a 1, that's a 4, that's a 3, that's a 6. We have another 3-5 in here now, which actually can be in this cell, and a 9. So 3-5-9, I say, can be in the cell, clearly not the 3, and a 3-5-9 here. And a 3 is not too small. That would leave me 8 and 9, which actually works. So still not a cakewalk if you make the assumption that this is a 2, just normal Sudoku rules that digits and cages are unique. This can't be a 1, that's the 1. That's a 3. This is 15 now. The 8-9 is not here. This is the 8-9. This is the 6-7. That 2 means this is a 13, and it's not a 6-7 13 because it would break this cell. So my options are 9-4. In fact, it's only 9-4. Two ways of getting to 13 in 2 cells. 9-4, 8-5, which it isn't, and then 6-7, which it isn't. So this is 9, this is 4. That's not a 4. These cells are known, they are 1 and 4. There is a second 8-9 in here somewhere, plus a 5. This is 5-8-9. That 9 gave me an 8 and a 7 to get to 15 plus the 3. This cell now is not 7, 8, or 9. This is 5 or 6. This one of these two has to be an 8. That's not an 8. There's only one place. It's amazing how I spotted the 8, but not the obvious 6. And now I have a triplet of 5, 8, 9 here. Right, these cells are somewhat known. 1, 3, 5, I'm going to say. That's not a 3. That's not a 1. This could be anything. Puts a lot of pressure now on the 14. I say a lot of pressure. Some pressure on the 14s. 6, hang on. Can't have a 5 inside the 16 cage. That's 1. That's 4. That's 1. That's not a 1. Okay. That's not a 1 either. That was done a while ago. That's the 1. We have a 3-5 pair. So you see, the fact that it hasn't broken yet, based on my assumption, leads me to the conclusion that there has been a mistake in the rules. Don't have a lot that's left, to be fair. So there is a 1 here, just Sudoku. These are 2, 3, 4. Less interesting. So I kind of have to think about these non-forced cages that have a lot of options now. What I will do quickly, because I don't think it's even Sudoku. I mean, column 7 seems the most promising right now. This is a triple, so I actually know what these cells are now. And the 6 and 8 are not up here. This is a 6-8 pair. Yeah, I'm correct. 6-8 and 2-7. Yeah, that is a triple. 3-5-9. 2 and 7 is in here. 6-8 is in there. Really starts to limit our options in there. Okay. Yeah, may as well carry on with this column. So if this is 9, yeah, that's a good test. If this is 9, that can't be an 8 because that would be a 3, and it's not. It would have to be 9 and 6. This would need to be a 5, which it wouldn't be because that would have to be nothing. 9, 6, 5. So this is not 9. That's a 3-5 pair. That is a 9. That's an 8. That's a 5. That's a 9. We're back to 3-5. And I mean, if I minimize this, 3 and 6 is too small. 3 and 8 is barely enough. 3 and 8 doesn't even work because that would be a 9 and repeat. That's a 5. That's a 3. Therefore, that's a 4. Need 2 cells that add up to 15 now. This would be 7 or 9. It's not a 9. That's 7. That's 8. That's 6. That gives me 3 up here, 5 in there. 3, and now I need to get to 11 in the 14 cage, and it's either 7 and 4, which seemingly can be, or 2 and 9, which again seemingly it can be. 5 in here, and we need to get to 9. Can't be 1, 8. Could be 2, 7. 7 here, 2 there. Could be 3, 6. That's 3, that's 6. And it can't be 4, 5 clearly. Okay, these now. Let's think about this. So the 2 and 3 that were here, well, it's not this cell, that's 2, 3, that's 4, which gives me 9, which gives me 2, which gives me 7. That gives me 6 in here, and presumably the 3, was it? That's 11, yep, that would be 3. These cells are, I need a 1, 4 in here to complete the column, and then this cell is known, it is 5. 15 and 4 cells, so many options. Yeah, so many options. Right, where do we go next? So it's probably the 25. This is 12. These 3 cells are 13. No 6 either. In fact, this column, this is 2, 7. That's 7. That's 7, that's 2. So this is now 15, 19. These 2 cells are 6, and it can't be 2, 4. It is 1, 5. That 5 gives us an order. That's 5, that's 1. These 3 cells are not exactly known. It has a 3, though. So that's not a 3, that's a 2, that's a 3. These 2 cells are known. 2, 9. 2 gives us a 2, gives us a 9, gives us a 5. We need 3, which can be in these 2 cells. 5, no, not 5, 6 and 9. 6. Oh, the 9 is here. That's the 6. 8, 9 gives me 3, gives me 9. Right? It feels like a pretty solid assumption. I am going to double check the rules that maybe somebody left a comment about them, that this is like an oversight. Because it really does feel like it. This is 1, 6. That 6 gives us an order. That's 6, that's 1. This is the 3. This is the 5. Still not resolved the 1, 4s. This cell might. That's a 9. It doesn't. Then to complete this, we've got 7 and a digit that will hopefully unwind it all. Yes, it is. 8, 4, 8, and 1 and 4. And I forgot the 9 and 8 at the beginning. Lovely puzzle, the Bard. I would agree with a 1-star difficulty rating if we know that this is indeed saying that this is no repeated digits. So hope that you guys enjoyed the puzzle. What I will do is correct in the description down below that this is without, unique digits inside the killer cages, and maybe leave a comment on Logic Masters Germany if it hasn't been already. Hope that you guys enjoyed it. See you back for the next one. Bye bye for now.